was dating your mom, like I was telling my boy, like, yo, like,
I can't be playing around at these
bro,
days.
like this is like we're in the Super Bowl right now, bro. Like I gotta bring it. Like I've been practicing all season.
No practicing.
You know what I'm saying?
Want a girl like me? Whoever thought that I would fall so easily? Whoever thought that we would finally come to be? I guess they
Hey guys,
just
welcome back to another video. My name is Javanna Paten. If you are new here, as you guys can see, we are doing a chit chat video about green flags, red flags about dating, and I have here Mario. Last time in our chit chat, we had my mom touching base on singleness and dating, and this is my mom's husband, Mario, as you guys already see by the title. He joined me today, and we'll give you guys a male's perspective on like what those green flags and red flags are. And without further ado, let's get into this video. So I want to start by saying, like, as a male, what is a major red flag for you? Just to break the ice on the video. Just break the ice.
There's so many. Seriously, I mean, there's a lot of red flags. Honestly, I think the main one to me, I think when people are trying to get to know each other, I think the main one is when people are self-absorbed. I think that's the biggest red flag to me, is when, you know, if the intention and the objective is to be to meet someone and date someone, and you're intentionally trying to date, you know, to be just self-absorbed and not trying to get to know the other person, or just be unselfish, I think is probably the biggest red flag to me. I mean, there's definitely obviously a sense of pride that you want to show to the other person, that you take pride in the person that you are, but at the same time, you know, there's some vulnerability in being unselfish, I think, that needs to be displayed when you're initially trying to meet someone. So. Yeah,
I think that's one of my key things too. I think just dating, in the last 3 years of dating different people and going on different dates and like learning different men, and I think that's a big red flag for me. Like when you go on a date and a guy is just, I'm the one pulling a lot out of the person. It doesn't make me feel seen. It doesn't make me feel like the other person is equally interested in getting to know me, especially the first date. And so I definitely agree with that. Like, if a guy or a woman is just talking about themselves the whole time, dead it, y'all.
Right, absolutely.
Because they're not equally interested in getting to know you. They're not equally interested in like figuring you out, and that's the whole purpose of dating. Because you don't go on a date to just talk about yourselves. So
exactly.
Yeah. So what is a major like green flag for you, and especially with you being newly married and just making the decision to choose my mom? Love that for her.
Phenomenal woman, I got you.
Yes. What was it about her that was like major green flag for you?
Major, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Major green flag for me, for your mother, I think right off the bat was, she was just very, she was different. She was different. She was different in a lot of ways, for the simple fact that just the way she carried herself, definitely very classy and elegant. She was on time. That was number one. She was on time. You know what I'm saying? There was none of this like, let me stall, let me be late, I'm gonna be late. No, she was on time.
Love that for her.
Exactly. The introduction, the way that we embraced, was very genuine and authentic. There was definitely a warm, like, you know, she was no stuck upness, so to speak, or whatever, of kind of like being standoffish. She was just very open to getting to know me, and it just, our vibe, our connection from day one, it flowed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's no expectations, you know what I'm saying, that we had going into it. Obviously, we had met in a virtual capacity, but never had physically seen each other. So when we first saw each other, it was just, we instantly were like, oh my God, like, we look like each other. You know what I'm saying? There was no catfishing going on, you know. Yeah. So it was just the fact that she was open, she was authentic, she was being herself. I think if I would categorize, it was just the fact that she was just being herself. There was no trying to, no games being played, you know what I'm saying? No type of, you know, I gotta do this and do this, whatever, and show this, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, hey, I'm here to meet this guy, and hopefully it turns out good in a date.
Yeah.
And so, married.
Love that. You said something about not having expectations, and I think I can say this for myself and for maybe other people in my age group of like, we go into dating, especially because we have to date online in this day and age, this generation, of like going into something with no expectations. And I think that was really hard for me to like grasp. And my parents have made it very, very like right up in here to say like, go into it and have fun. Like, just don't even overthink it. And so like for me, I think I recently had a date and I went into it with no expectations, and I was like, okay, like cool. Like it was a different vibe. And I think when you go into something, you go into a date where you think, oh, maybe he's my person or maybe she's my person. It's like you only hurt yourself.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to see like how can you speak more towards that, because he's like the advocate of being
Putting
me on like Javanna. It's not that serious.
Yes.
Like yeah.
I'm a huge advocate for going to things with no expectations, meaning especially in dating online nowadays in that capacity. Obviously, I met my wife online as well, but prior to meeting her, there was years of the the online dating and meeting people, right? So I didn't have any expectations that every time I met somebody, I was like, hopefully this is the one. I had my little ring prepared. No, it's like I just was like, hey, I'm gonna put my best foot forward. I'm gonna be a gentleman. I'm gonna try to court this person. I'm gonna try to meet this person and put my best foot forward on every single date. But if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And so I think that's the greatest advice I can give everybody who's exploring dating in the online dating world right now is never to have any expectations. Work on yourself first and foremost. Try to be the best mate that you can possibly be for somebody, potentially be for somebody, and hopefully the date goes well. And if it doesn't, unmatch, unblock, block. Not saying you got to get that drastic. That was kind of how I was living at the time, whatever. But I do feel like no expectations is the best way to go, because you don't set yourself up for to be disappointed. I think is the biggest thing. I think a lot of times you have these connections, you talk to people, you know what I'm saying? You kind of get a feel for who they are, whatever. And, oh my God, he seems so great. Oh God, this and that, and you get there, whatever, and then it's like, either something doesn't go, there's certain thing, red flags start to come up, whatever, where they start to, there's certain things start to come up that maybe you didn't see prior to actually meeting them, and then now you've like, you've built this person on a pedestal, and now they can't live up to it.
Me.
So,
that's me. I think for me I think dating and like being single has been more of a challenge for myself, rather than like shifting into becoming my, I know who I am, but I think because I feel like I'm healed and like I go into dating as like, okay, maybe this is my person, maybe God is like placing me, because I don't go on many dates, so I overthink the dates that do come. And I think too highly of a person, and it's like you do like allow room for yourself to be disappointed, because you don't know a person versus like just surface level. Like you don't know a person like on a deeper scale, especially off the first date. And so that's been a huge lesson for me, being single. And thanks to my mom and him, they have both been like just go into it. Just show up, be yourself.
100%.
And whoever's for you will obviously stay around and pursue you. And I think another thing that you've like been super like hone in on, like holding me accountable to, is like what's the word? You're always like, don't chase, not even chase men, but like don't overdo it with these guys, because they know exactly what they want, and they don't have to overthink it. They know if you're the one for them. And I think like a lot of women, especially myself, where we go into situations where we're like, oh, he's showing me a little attention, like maybe he really likes me, and Mario's like, it's not that serious. Like, let him show you that he's really into you, and that goes into action. And I think for a while I took what a man was saying to me, more than like his action, like ignoring his actions, but like taking a lot of like, well, he said this and he said that, and it's like, no, sis, what is he doing?
Absolutely.
What is he doing? Like, how is he showing up in your life? Is he supportive in the areas that you need? And so like just being aware of like, if the words are not matching with the action, it's dead.
100%.
It's dead. But yeah.
No, absolutely. I 100%. I feel like actions speak louder than words. Obviously, you know, specifically with you, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I've always said that, you know, you're definitely for your age group, or no age group, whatever, like, you know, you're a phenomenal woman that you develop into, whatever. So with that being said, like, you know, that there's a, you're in the upper echelon, you know what I'm saying, the upper tier for your dating bracket. Mm-hmm. So with that, you know what I'm saying, you know, you have to look at yourself as a prize. You have to look at yourself, you have to value yourself. And I think that one of the things that a lot of people don't do while they're single is they don't take enough time to sharpen themselves. You know what I'm saying? They don't take enough time to develop themselves. Don't take enough time to enjoy themselves, enjoy their own personal space. You know, while you're out here eventually wanting to be pursued and date someone, and eventually you have a long-term relationship and get married, etc. But before you get to that point in your singleness, mm-hmm. you know, be the best version of yourself you can be. Yeah. You know, I was single for a long time, you know, and all I did was, you know, I worked out a lot, you know, I went to work a lot, whatever. But in that time of being single, I really worked on myself, on, you know, knowing what I wanted in a person. Yeah. Also, too, trying to make myself the best version of myself, whatever. That way, like, when I dated somebody, like, people could see the value in me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And mm-hmm. and with that, you know, hopefully there isn't, with that time of spending with myself, whatever, what that allowed me to do is know exactly what I wanted in a person. Yeah. So every time I would go on a date with somebody, and right off the bat, I would realize, like, after courting them one time, like whether it be one date or two dates, whatever, I would realize, like, a red flag would jump off the page right away, whatever, or not even necessarily a flag, but there's something that I know that this person, this woman, that was a trait or something that they displayed that's indicative of somebody that I don't want to be with. Mm. And so when you take that time and you have that time of by yourself, you're like, you know, I know exactly what I want, whatever. And the moment that somebody shows me that's not the person that I want to be with, yeah, done. Yeah. And I think as like you date people, I think it's just as soon as you, like he said, as soon as you realize it's just something small as like, this isn't what I want, like long term. I think it is so like it's a cool point for you as a person, like yourself, to be like, that's not what I want. Like, I don't have to keep entertaining something because they're giving me the attention, because they're texting me every day, because they ask me on a date 3 times a week. Like, just being aware and like accepting the fact that, okay, this does not fit me. This doesn't fit the idea of like who I desire as a partner. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, that was the word. You said prize. Knowing that you are the prize, ladies and women or men. Like knowing yes, like and I've dated men that are very like great men, but they don't know. Mm-hmm. Like, and that goes with me of like, okay, well, he doesn't know that he's really lit for real compared to like what's out there. And now I have a window to be like, I can take advantage of you if I wanted to. And so like as women, as men, like knowing who you are and like knowing your power is been probably the biggest lesson for me, like being single, because like if you know you are a package by yourself, like you will attract a person that is also a package, and they operate in that. They come to your dates, they already know like I'm the package, like, but they don't show it in a way that is arrogant. They just know like, I want to attract someone just as like well kept as I am, and you know what I'm saying, like you know that, and it just comes off easily, like it comes off as an attraction to the other person. Mm-hmm. Versus like cockiness. So that's yeah. Definitely on that same lane there. You know, when you have worked on yourself, right, and you know that you value yourself, you know that you pride yourself, you know who the person that you are, the woman that you built yourself to be, right?
Yeah.
And you're confident in that, and you display that, whatever, 9 times out of 10, men are gonna come correct.
Yeah.
They gonna know, like, you know what, I gotta like put my best foot forward, whatever I can. Like, this is a different type of woman right here. Like, I can't even, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I was dating your mom, like, I was telling my boy, like, yo, like,
I can't be playing around at these
bro,
days.
like, this is like, we in the Super Bowl right now, bro. Like, I gotta bring it. Like, I've been practicing all season.
No practicing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, you know, but when you are not confident in yourself, you know what I'm saying? When when you don't value yourself, whatever, when there is a little bit of maybe, what's what I'm looking for, maybe insecurity, so to speak, whatever, about maybe your qualities, or, you know, and everybody has a little bit of insecurities here and there, whatever, but at the end of the day, it's knowing your worth. Yeah. And that's men too. Knowing your worth.
Heavy on men, because
like,
you'd be surprised how many men.
I'm telling you, like, I'm huge on knowing your worth. When you know your worth, and in any capacity, in dating and in business and whatever, you know what I'm saying? When you know your worth, whatever, nobody can never undervalue you, whatever. They can never, you know what I'm saying, come at you, you know, in a foul way, whatever. You know what I'm saying? When you know your worth, whatever, you head off anything, whatever, that's not coming in the way that you want it to come. Yeah. So, you know, I say that, you know, like, you know, I was huge on knowing my worth, whatever, as far as, like, you know, meeting people, you know, that, you know, seemed like they had great qualities, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, you know, the things that they were doing or displaying wasn't indicative of somebody that I wanted to be with. And so, you know, once you know your worth, whatever, like, that's it. This is the standard, whatever. They got to come with it, or you just out of here.
And I think, like, from a personal perspective, I think I've been dating a person where it's been like, okay, I thought I knew my worth, and then you get with someone or you're talking to someone, and they just test your patience a little too hard, and you're like, wait a minute, like, I don't deal with this with nobody else, so, like, why am I, you know, like, and it's a matter, like, dating is tests, like, over and over and over and over and over. And a test for me is like, Javanna, you have your own stuff, especially anytime I go over their house, we talk about this, like, girl, you are the prize here, like, and so it's just a matter of you just believing that about yourself versus someone telling you over and over and over. And so, and then it takes a matter of, like, somebody testing your patience a little too much, and you're like, you know what, no, I'm not dealing with this. This happened 3 months ago, you know? Yeah,
and I'm glad you said dealing with this, whatever, too. Like, that's the thing that I think a lot of people, you know, so there's grace, right? You know what I'm saying? There's a certain amount of grace, whatever, that everybody can have with somebody, right? You know what I'm saying? But there's different levels of grace in different times and capacities in which you have established or created a relationship or association with somebody. Right. So, for example, like, early on, like, when you're dating somebody, whatever, like, the grace should be about this small, in men and women. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can have grace, and there's some, you know, a little bit of toleration here and there, you know what I'm saying, for certain things, you know, like, for me, like, if it's, you know, on a date, you know, people show up late, you know, like, whatever, those are things that happen, right? Or things that happen. But when you get to the point where you're dealing with and you're having to tolerate, you know what I'm saying, the beginning stages of meeting somebody and courting somebody and dating, all that should be it should be a breeze. It should
flow, yeah.
Oh, it should be a breeze. It should flow, whatever. If it gets to the point where it's like, it's hard work, it's pulling teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta, like, you know, it's pulling teeth to get communication. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's pulling, you know, you trying to get to know somebody or whatever, and, you know, it's hard to reach them. You know, they go ghost for hours. You know what I'm saying? We're living in 2022. There's a million ways to communicate with somebody. If you can't hear from somebody, whatever, in, you know, in 6-8 hours, whatever, you know, that happens so many times. Men too. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, she should be able to communicate to you, whatever, in a timely manner. Yeah. It's the same thing with women too. Like, you know, like, it just, there shouldn't be the toleration, you know what I'm saying? It's this much.
It's real small.
You know what I'm saying? And once you get to the point where, again, the tolerating and the dealing with whatever just becomes too much. It's like, you know, now when you get on a level like you're with somebody and you guys are exclusive, there's compromise. You know what I'm saying? There's compromise. There's, hey, listen, I'm going to be a little, today I got this going on. Hey, this, next week's going to be a little rough for me, whatever. I got a lot going on next week, whatever. I'm going to be flying out of town for business, or, hey, I'm going to be, I got this going on. I got family stuff, whatever. That grace maybe starts to open up a little bit, whatever, once you've built this foundation of and put some time in and put some work in, whatever. Exactly. They proved themselves to you. And that's the biggest thing too, whatever. It's you got to put the work in, you got to put the time in, whatever, for people you start to get to the point to where that grace starts to open up, whatever, to where you can tolerate and deal with certain things. And then even then, you know what I'm saying, there's certain levels of toleration and dealing with that you can only stand before you're like, listen, you know what, my time is worth so much more than this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I deserve so much more than this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
no, seriously.
Listen,
y'all, it took me to fall on my butt to figure that out. Like, giving grace and dating, but it wasn't like me like being too nice and then I had to like deal with someone that just really just took me there. But like, no, it took me one date where the guy asked me out. One, didn't make a reservation. I get to the place before he did. He was 30 minutes late. Red flag. 30 minutes late, he gets there, and I was like, well, you look like you could use a drink. Like, you look a little tense.
Well, you shoveled.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll give it, I'll offer you the first drink, which was very, very nice of me, being that he asked me out on that date, right? Very nice of me. And he was 30 minutes late. That was beyond nice, right? Offered him a drink, barely drank the drink, but now I see that I'm like having to pull teeth. Like, I'm the one, hey, well, what do you like? What color do you like? What do you like to do on a Sunday? Like, a red flag. So we finally get down, get to seated, get it eating, and he's like, oh, the bill's on you, right?
Wow.
Wait. And so, like, for me, it's like dating, y'all, is like really, it just tests the patience big time. Because, granted, I dress well, I take care of myself, nice things, right? I like nice things. And I feel like men will test you, like, for real. And it may be on the same side as women, too. I don't know have you ever had that experience where, like, a woman has seen how you dress and carry yourself and they just be like, oh, you got it, or like, it's just like I don't know, it's something that I can't deal with. And so for me, that was the end of that conversation and end of like me interested in someone, because that just gives off that you don't respect me as a person, but you see me as a dollar sign.
Absolutely. I think there's
and then you don't respect me. I think I said that.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, like, things are gonna happen, right? You know what I'm saying, when it comes to dating, right? As far as like on the first date, like, you may be late, or there's all types of different scenarios and variables that can happen, right? And when you gotta meet somebody, whatever, or for a date or something, right? But what should happen if you're running late, especially if you're the man and you're running late, whatever, now you're like, okay, hey, I'm down 10 now. I need to do something, whatever, to kind of make up for whatever, get myself back in the game here, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, I made a mistake here. I was a little late, whatever. I apologize, whatever. Maybe not say it, but in your mind, the mentality as a man should be, I need to make this up. Especially if you're obviously you're feeling this person, right? You came here. There's a purpose. There's an intention behind this date, this meal, right?
Yeah.
So again, in putting your best foot forward, it's okay. Let me do some things to kind of get back in her good graces or whatever, and show and prove that, hey, I do want to be here with you. I appreciate that you showed up, whatever.
Yeah.
But and then getting to the aspect of paying for the bill, whatever. Like, I mean, come on now, first date, come on now, fellas.
That's a red flag, men. I'm sorry.
100%.
Red flag.
Redder than this fireplace behind me right now, whatever. If you can't pay for the first date, bruh.
Yeah.
Second,
then
second, first 2-3 dates.
Listen, he didn't even leave a tip, y'all. That was, yeah. Now, granted, I get people, like, we in a whole recession, inflation, but, like, don't be dating if you don't have money. Seriously.
Listen, rule of thumb, if you can't go on a date comfortably financially and be able to say, I'm gonna pay for this, and whatever happens tonight, I'm paying for it, whether it be we go out to dinner, we go out to drinks, we go bowling, whatever it can be. If you're not in a place financially to be like, I can do all that, whatever, and it be on me and drop 20%, on the tip. If
Yeah.
you can't do all that, then hey, we can't. Or
Dating
maybe
is not for you right
exactly,
now.
or maybe the first date needs to be a meet and greet. Like, hey, you know what? Let's meet each other first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? See how see where we want this to be, where we want this to go. Let's do something where we can talk for 2 or 3 hours, whatever, and maybe really get to know each other, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a
I think also read the room. Like if you know you're not. If you know you're not where somebody else is and you're still trying to pursue them, that is a flaw with you. Like
100%.
You're wasting someone else's
Straight
time,
up.
and you know that you can't even be consistent going into the situation.
And these are things that you got to do when you're in your singleness. You know what I'm saying? You're single for a while. Get yourself to a place to where you're ready to date people.
Yeah.
Dating costs money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're not in a place financially to where, like, you know what I'm saying, you can't court somebody for a good amount of time, whatever. And and I get, the paying for the tab thing is tricky, right? Because different strokes for different folks. Some people
Right.
like, some men are like, oh, I pay for every, I pay for every date, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Some women, some like, so I don't need your money, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? And then for me, I think it's more so of courting somebody, 2 or 3 or 4 times, whatever, and them offering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think it comes natural for women that, like, okay, I see he shows up in these ways. Like, for me, it comes natural. Let me treat you this time. And of course not make it be consistent of treating. But, like, show the person that you're as equally as invested and you're not shy of, like, spending your money and, like, showing
100%.
up for them because they've done it 10 times before this date. Like, it's just out of respect, and it's like, it just shows that you're also equally interested and equally invested in, like, furthering the conversation or whatever the direction the relationship will be going towards.
This goes follows in line with the knowing your worth. After like the 4th or 5th date, as a man, it feels good just knowing that she offers. 4th or 5th day, hey, you know what, honey, let me get this one. I appreciate. Let me get this one. This one's on me. Let me. That feels good.
It really goes a long way. Y'all.
It does.
It does.
It does, because it shows, hey, I'm. Obviously I'm still coming out here with you, whatever. So I'm enjoying myself, whatever. So if you're enjoying yourself, whatever, there should be a contribution of, you know what, I want to show him that at the same time I'm appreciating his time, I'm appreciating being here, whatever, and I want to treat him tonight.
Yeah.
We talking 5 to 10 dates in, whatever, and it ain't been an offer.
You done? Red flag?
Bro, hey, listen, I paid for it. I had a great night. 56 day, I had a great
Out
night.
of there.
Had a great night, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Walk to the car, whatever. Get in the car. Block. Because seriously, it falls in line with knowing your worth, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, from experience, you know what I'm saying, full transparency, I've been in situations, whatever, where you've courted and you put your best foot forward, whatever. You've wined and dined 5, 6, 7, 8 dates, whatever, and there's never been an offer, whatever. And then it's even situations or scenarios to where they're hitting you up saying, hey, you know what, like, I'm over here at such and such tonight, whatever, like, we should go out, whatever, inviting you out.
They still don't pay the tab.
And don't even, and then again,
offer.
It's not even about paying sometimes, it's just about offering and showing this guy that, hey, I'm not here to take advantage of you. I'm here because I'm enjoying your time, whatever, and I'm loving where this is going, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I want to continue to do more of this, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But in this season, this time that we are right now in the online day, there's a lot of people that are just out here they just want to be courted. Listen, they're out here for meals.
Listen.
They're like, girl, look, girl, I'm out here, girl. I got one line up Thursday night. I got one line up Friday night, Saturday night. I'm trying.
We know some people that's like that. But no, that's true, because I've been on a long-term dating with a guy specifically, and like by the 5th date, I'm like, hey, like, why don't I treat you, like, book the whole like reservation, really nice dinner or whatever, and like me paying for it. He was just stunned. Like, he was like, I've never had anyone do this for me, and I'm like confused. Like,
you'd
why?
be surprised.
Like, yeah. And it's I don't know. I feel like as a woman, like, it feels good to, like, just, for me, it just seems like it's a partnership, not like, like, if you get to that point with that person, like, it is a partnership. And I think it kind of shows that, like, if someone be like, well, let me offer this, or and it's not like about money, but it's more so like this is someone that that's I don't know, just equally interested, equally
Absolutely.
invested, and
that's
it just shows
100%, and that's exactly what I think as a man. For me personally, I think for men, I'm sorry, let me speak for myself because I don't know what these young men are doing nowadays.
nothing.
But for me,
nothing.
But for me, I think it's you want to know that this time that I'm spending to think about I'm up here. I'm at work or whatever, and I'm thinking about, man, I'm gonna take your here tonight, whatever, you know what I'm saying, or Friday, I'm gonna get this lined up, whatever. Like I booked a reservation, you know what I'm saying. I found this cool place, whatever, that I know she ain't never been here before, whatever, because it's a cool little spot, whatever, blah blah. Like you're putting your best foot forward, trying to impress somebody, because you like this person, you want to see where it goes, and so it feels good when that is reciprocated. It feels good when somebody, they see enough in you to where they want to also invest. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing you got. That's how I kind of look at it too in dating. So when it comes to dating, in the beginning, getting to know somebody, it's an investment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And fellas, that's how you gotta look at it. You gotta get, oh man, look, man, I've been dating this girl, man. I've been driving down on spent about $2,000, man. Like.
It really is an investment.
It's an investment. It really is.
It's
It's an investment. You're investing your money, but at the same time, the thing that you're investing the most that you can't put a price on is your time. Money is one thing, but your time
is another.
You can't get your time back.
Yeah.
Time you can never get back. So I think that's why for me there's that cold hard stop and I'm done. I'm blocked, because when I get to the point where I feel like somebody has wasted my time, there's no words for that.
Ooh.
There's no conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah.
After that, whatever, when you're done and you moved on, somebody waste your time.
Because if you waste my time, that means you don't respect me at all.
100%.
Like, at all. And like he said, is like you cannot put a price tag on time, and so
can't get it back.
Just being like self-aware, knowing what you want, entering dating and courting as like, this is what I know that I want to go into. Like, this is what I want. I have no expectations of like this date, but this is what I know what I want. And it can even be like within yourself. You don't even have to verbally tell a person this is what I want, because in my opinion, if you tell a guy what you want, they will give you exactly what you want, but that is not who they are. So don't do that, ladies. Men too.
Game.
Okay? Do not do that.
Game.
Like, and I've done that, and it just, they waste my time.
Don't lay out the blueprint for somebody, whatever.
Please don't do that.
Let
them show you who they are.
Thank you.
Like,
Period.
Know what you want in your head. Go into dating like it's a regular date, normal date. You don't know this person. You're just dating. You're going out to eat, getting to know a person. And if they show up in a way that you'd be like, this is different, I want to get to know you more, then cool. Like, but do not spell out what you want, how you want it. Like, because people will literally prey on your needs and your desires, and they give you a little taste of that, and they can't do it long term. Like, a person can only lie and be something for so long. They can't keep it up for 10 years. So
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think sticking on that same way, I feel like also not explaining and laying out the blueprint to somebody as far as like what you want and what you're expecting, right? Also, by doing that, what you do is you're open to whatever comes, right? Mm-hmm. And also there's no expectations. Going back to what we're talking about again, there's no expectations as well. So what that does is sometimes, like, in that being open and in that being adaptable, you know what I'm saying, and trying to get to know somebody and having no expectations, what somebody may show you, they may show you something that you didn't even know you wanted. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They may open your eyes, whatever, and open your mind, and maybe even your heart, whatever. To something like, man, I
didn't know that existed.
Like, facts. Like, I was looking for this type of dude, and I expected this and that, whatever. And this guy's completely different, whatever. But I like it, Like, I was expecting, him to be this way, and I'm used to guys this and that, you know what I'm saying? But somebody may if you open enough, whatever, and allow yourself to just have no expectations. Yeah. Somebody may show you something, whatever, and be a person to you, whatever, that you didn't expect, whatever, and blow your mind.
That's
Blow
good.
mind. You looking on TV on Instagram, looking at something, I want that, I want to see what she got right there. Whatever. No, you know what I'm saying? Like people do that. They're looking at what other people have, other relationships, whatever, and they're wanting that, whatever, instead of
you will never find it.
100%. Instead of just going into something, whatever, with no expectations, whatever, putting your best foot forward and allowing things to happen authentically and genuinely. Those are the things that last.
Yeah,
Not
that's a green flag when stuff just mesh organically and like. Especially like women, like, because we may be like, oh, he didn't text me today, let me text him. No, if he's not doing it, and it's not even like a tit for tat, it's more so of like, if a guy's really there, he's there. Like, you won't have to force it, you won't have to teach him, you won't have to explain, you won't have to overly communicate, you won't have to be like, you won't have to spell it out. Like, this won't be no exam. Like, either you got it or you don't. And that's just really how, like, as men and women, we should just operate as far as like dating and being single and like learning about yourself. Is just like, I don't need to spell it out. Either you have it or you don't. Either you're my person or you're not. Either it's gonna work or it's not. Either it's gonna be hard or it's gonna be easy. Is it gonna flow or is it not? Like, just simply, if there is no there is no gray areas. It's just black and white. And so that's really the biggest thing for me that I had to learn, is like, either it is or it's not. Like, it's dating, love should be easy. It should flow. Obviously, you know, there's hardships, but like overall, like, you meshing with the person should just happen, and it should be organic. It should work, and people will see that. The outsiders will be like, y'all really mesh well. It's something about the aura too.
Absolutely, it's like a puzzle piece. You know what I'm saying? It's the pieces they're either going to fit together or they're not. You know what I'm saying? It's like, especially early on in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? The communication is key, especially in the beginning, right? Communication is the key. That is the foundation. You have that communication. You guys are getting to know each other. That can't be pulling teeth in the beginning. You may hit a wall here and there, whatever, as you guys, start to know each other. And even, there's a cue, work got in the way. I'm trying to date somebody, but I'm working a lot, whatever. Well, maybe you're not ready to date nobody right now. You know what I'm saying? If your excuse is going to be, I'm trying to date, I'm sorry, I haven't talked to you in 3 days, whatever, 4 or 5 days, whatever, but, I've been tired of work, whatever. Well, maybe you need to get work settled first.
And off of Bumble.
Exactly. And then maybe when you're ready to date and you have time for somebody, then maybe we can come back to the dating table.
Yeah.
But it can't be pulling teeth in the beginning.
Yeah, I agree. Well, on that note, guys, it has been a pleasure to have this chit chat with you, Mario. Thank you for coming again. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys want Mario back on my channel, let him know in the comments. And I will see you guys next video. Bye.
Who would ever thought that we